Hello, everybody. Welcome to YouTube Live free stamping class with Barb, barbstamps.com. And it must be Thursday, you guys, 4 p.m. Oops, here I am again on my iPad. Turn myself down. So it must be 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 Mountain, where I live, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern. So welcome to all of you who are here. A lot of you were here before I got live, and you were chatting in the comments. So thank you all for showing up. I appreciate that very much. We've got Kathy and Bonnie and Connie and Tony and Dolly and Barb. Great name, Barb. And Patty and Heather and Sheila and Diana and Pam and Sherry and Karen and Joan and Crystal and Janice and Marilyn and oh my gosh, just tons of you. And another Barb. Hello, Barb. Barbara. That's also a great name. My actual name is Barbara. And that's what my mother would kind of yell when she was mad at me. Barbara Eileen. Eileen's my middle name. And that's when the name Barbara would be used in my house. Otherwise, I was just Barb. So, yeah. And I spell my name B-A-R-B-A-R-A. I know a lot of girls spell it B-A-R-B-R-A, but mine is an A-R-A. So welcome to all of you Barbs out there. You have a fantastic name. So I am still loving my short hair, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's just been so great. I don't shower every day. I know that sounds kind of bad to some of you, but my skin is so dry. I cannot shower every day, or I would literally be itching constantly. So having my hair shorter makes it look better longer. So there you go. So yeah, so I'm very excited. My son got that little, I told you a long time ago when he first whacked his face. I think that was the end of June. So like the 1st of July or something, he got a little wire band put onto his teeth to keep them in place. And when we saw the specialist, the endodontist, about a week and a half ago, maybe, he was a little surprised that it was still on. So he decided that it should come off. So he talked to our regular dentist and said, this thing needs to come off. The new studies, the new science says that these things should not stay on that long. So anyway, we went in on Tuesday and they popped that off. And so we are scheduled for root canals in the front 2 teeth on the 18th of October. And then we will do a crown buildup the following week. And then we're going to do the crowns in the next year so that we can kind of take full advantage of our insurance. Yes, that's how we're going to play this. So I'm pretty excited about that. We've also decided not to put veneers on the 2 side teeth. The one side tooth is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no chips. There's nothing. The other little side tooth has a little chip out of it. But we're kind of leaning towards just putting a filling in that little space where there is a missing part of the tooth, because I just feel like veneers are expensive. Plus they do have to grind them down, to put the veneers on. And it's like, there's nothing else wrong with those 2 teeth. Why would we go through all that trauma? And the weakening of the teeth, because the main time you do anything to a tooth, you weaken it. And so we decided to opt out of the veneers. We're just going to go with the 2 root canals, the 2 crowns, and then a little filling. So the cost should be less, and the pain and discomfort to him should also be less. So that's good news. So we'll be starting that here in a few weeks. So yay. So thank you to those of you that have been following along on this entire journey and have been sending your prayers and good thoughts to him. I do appreciate that very much. And we are nearing the end of this journey of the smashed face. So yay. And my foot seems to be really good. I get a little twinge of, I guess, achiness here and there, but nothing like it was. I can walk like a normal person. So yeah, I feel like not going to the doctor maybe worked out. Knock on some wood, because you just never know. But yeah, so things are good. My daughter's ankle, she's still wearing the boot. We won't know for I think another week and a half if she's gonna have to potentially have some surgery on it. So so many things. But anyway, so that's kind of what's going on around here. Nothing else super exciting. Yeah. Oh, my prayers and thoughts and everything to all of you people in Florida. Oh my goodness. My daughter wants to move there, and I don't want her to move there just because it's so far away from me. So But then after this, I really don't want her to move there because, oh my gosh, you guys, I've seen some of the news and everything. Oh, I'm so sorry. To all of you, my heart just pours and aches for you guys. I hope that you're safe, and that you haven't lost too many things, because I know people go, oh, well, it's just things. Well, if it was my things, I'd be very upset. I mean, yeah, I'd be happy that I was okay and that my family was okay, but things are important. So hopefully you haven't lost too many things. So there you go. I'm trying to think. There's not really a whole lot going on other than, that we're supposed to get some rain this weekend, which is fine. It's getting into fall. Rain is expected. So yeah, Trish says her family is down there and they're all safe. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I have some team members that live in Florida. I think they're okay. I haven't heard, but I know a lot of the power's out and all that kind of thing. So I'm assuming that, your first thing isn't to jump on Facebook and, tell everybody that you're okay. So I'm just hoping that they are. And then I do have a team member in South Carolina who's hunkering down for the path of the hurricane to get up there. So good thoughts to you too, Laura. If you're watching, my lots of prayers and fingers crossed for you. So there you go. Okay. I think I'm just going to flip the camera and start because I have kind of a date night with my son tonight. He's agreed to help me do the recycling. Whoop, whoop. In return for food. So that's okay. I'll get to spend a little bit of quality time with him while we're eating and doing the recycling. So that's fun. He has started this new thing, you guys. I guess it's not new. He's been doing it for a couple of months. He likes to watch the sunset. He's just obsessed with the sunsetting. And for a while, he's also obsessed with picking up free couches on the side of the road. He's picked up 3 so far. One of them was a love seat that he had in the back of this junky truck that he bought, which I'm sure if you've been with me long enough, you know about the Ford Ranger. And then he did take that to the dump. Then he found another one that he got for a friend. And then he found this latest one that he took up somewhere where he can watch the sunset. So he would go to this couch and sit there and watch the sunset. Well, then he's discovered that he can sit up on our roof and get a very good view of the sunset. So that's what he's been doing for the past, 3 weeks. He goes out to the shop, gets the ladder, puts it up by the garage, climbs up on the roof, climbs across, and sits up there for, half hour, 45 minutes watching the sunset. So I would really like to go up there with him. And I feel like I could get up there. It's the getting down part that I'm not so sure about. And I'm not really positive that he'd want me to do that because I have balance problems, number 1. I'm afraid of heights, number 2. And I'm just not good with heights. So I probably won't do it, but I really would like to sit up there with him. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I'm not doing it. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera and then we are going to get started so that I can go hang out with my boy. Last week it was my daughter. She had come home for the weekend and we had a fantastic time with her. It was really fun. We went up to Billings one day and did some shopping. Got her some business casual clothing because she has got an internship with a company down in Colorado for next summer. And so we decided to start getting her some, business kind of clothing rather than, the holy jeans and tank tops that she wears and t-shirts. So we had a lot of fun doing that. Sherry said they dodged the hurricane center in Tampa. Crazy how it changed so much. Yes. Oh my gosh. I was kind of watching it. Joanne is safe. Yay. Good. That's good. Maria is watching me for the first time. Hello, Maria. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you being here. And a bunch of you guys. Oh, Margaret, thank you. She said my hair looks cute. I appreciate that. Okay. Yes. So here we are. This is what we did last week. We made these fun cards. We did this kind of fun fold with a different color combination. This is pumpkin pie, basic gray, and gray granite. Interesting color combination, but I feel like I nailed it. It looks pretty darn good. We also did this fun color combination. This is Orchid Oasis, Coastal Cabana, and Flirty Flamingo. Another one that was very new to me, but fun nonetheless. So we did that, and then we made this fun card with the lovely and lasting stamp set and some designer series paper from the Tea Boutique, I think is what it's called. I can never remember. Anyway, that's what we did last week. So if you are interested to see how I did any of these cards, go ahead and after we're done tonight, go back and watch last week's live. We've got a special coming up for you guys. If you are not a demonstrator, you might want to become a demonstrator next month, because we've got a fantastic starter kit promotion going on from October 4th through the 31st. It's called the Starter Kit Plus. So normally you would get $125 worth of product of your choice when you join Stampin' Up, but next month you're going to get $155, so $30 extra dollars, and all of that $155 is stuff you choose. It can be anything in any of our current catalogs. And so you make your kit, you put the stuff in there, and very exciting because they don't do this very often, and getting that extra money is fantastic. So I would love to have you join my team of demonstrators. We have a fantastic time. All my team members get free basic Stamp Happy Academy membership after they place their first order. They all get to be a part of my Facebook group, can participate in our monthly team swaps. And there's just a lot that we do. So if you're interested, if you have any questions, you can let me know. Otherwise, next Tuesday, just go to tinyurl.com/join Barb's team and sign up with me. I would love to have you. All right. Next, we've got Stampapalooza and Business Palooza coming next week, you guys. It's next week. Oh my gosh. So exciting. I've got my responsibility was to get a couple videos done. One was about card buffets. One is about how to create a project sheet. I've got those done. They are loaded and ready to be viewed by you guys next Thursday. That's so exciting. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the Stampapalooza, where we're doing the creative part of the fall retreat. And I would love to have you join me. There's a lot of options. You can get just the Business Palooza for $49, or you can get the retreat with the box full of fun for $139. It used to be $129, but the registration deadline for early bird is over, so now it is $139. If you aren't local to me, meaning you're not in the US, if you're in some other country, you can get the virtual part of the retreat. Well, actually, the whole thing is virtual, but you don't get a box full of fun because I can't ship products outside the US. So if you're out of the country, you can get it for $70. And actually, anybody can get it. You can be in the country and get the virtual access for $70. If you want the box full of fun, it's $139. It's got $75 worth of product, plus you're going to get the pieces and parts to make 16 make and take projects, and everything is recorded. You will get a PDF at the end of the event giving you the directions and the supply list and the links to the videos for all this stuff. So it's a great deal. The link is in the description of this video. We're still taking signups. I still have a few boxes left, so join me. I would love to have you. We are going to be using the Hello Harvest, Kindest Gnomes, Snowman Magic, Split Card Dies, and the Simply Fabulous Stamp Set. You can add any of those items to your retreat if you would like to. I just released my Hippest Hippos class last week. I did ship out all the kits for the people that had pre-ordered it, so those are gone. You guys should probably already have received all those. I still have, I think, 3 left. So if you're interested, if you've got the hippos and you're looking for a fun class to take, this one is really fun. You'll love all the cards in it. You can get just the kit, or you can get the kit and add on any of these extra items if you want. The description has the links. So you'll always find in my description box below any of my videos. It's full of information, and I know sometimes it's probably like, oh my gosh, that's too much, but you just never know what someone's going to need when they're watching one of your videos. So that's why I put it all in there. There's a lot of links to my Amazon store for a lot of products that I do use. There's also a larger section on my blog that is also linked below with a lot more things that I use from Amazon. If you shop with me, I get a tiny bit of commission from them, and I promise to use that money to buy candy to create more projects for you guys, because I like to eat candy while I'm down here creating. So that's what I spend my Amazon money on. Anyway, my other class to go for September is to Celebrate with Tags. I've got 3 of those left also. So again, if you're interested in that, the cards are so cute for this class. I shared them all last week. I wonder if they're close to me and I can grab them and show them to you. Yes, I think I can. Here we go. This is one of them. This is the birthday card. another birthday card, a Valentine's or happy anniversary or love card, what have you, and then a Christmas shaker card with the mitten. And then here's a sneak peek. This is one of the cards in the Hippo class. So there you go. Okay. Best butterflies. I don't know why I made so many of these. I sold out of what I had, and then I ordered more, and then the sales kind of tanked. So if you guys have the best butterflies bundle, this is a really super cute class. You will love it. And I think I have 6 of these kits left. So there you go. Oh my gosh, Susan just gave me a tip. Susan, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. And that little kitty cat is adorable. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. I really love it when you guys tip me. It's just kind of fun to see that little thing pop up across my screen, and whatever little character you choose just cracks me up. Stamp Happy Academy. Bonnie is way ahead of me. She's already telling you guys how amazing it is, and it's so true. Dina did her live today. Kelly did her live Tuesday. My live was earlier in the month. I believe I'm going to be going live in October, pretty early in the month. I haven't exactly picked my date, but it'll be pretty early. So I'm excited about that. I have uploaded my Celebrate with Tags class. The Hippo class is loaded on there. Kelly's going to be loading her class pretty soon. Dina will be loading her class. We've got nearly 80 class files on our website that basic and premium members have access to, you guys. 80 classes using different bundles that Stampin' Up! Either currently has or has had in the past. Because, when we do the class, it's current merchandise. Obviously, things retire, but the classes stay on Stamp Happy Academy because a lot of you probably have these bundles and you just need something to do with them. So be sure to check that out. If you're a basic or premium member, go to the class tab, look at all the classes. Oh my gosh, you will be amazed at how many classes we have. Oh my gosh, Barbara, my namesake, has also just given me a tip. Thank you, Barbara. Oh my gosh, it's the same cute little cat. That's so cute. Except he's saying something different. Or maybe it's not a cat. Is that a fox? I can't tell. They look like cats. I'm a big cat lover, so I'm going to say it's a cat. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. All right, adhesive kits. Those of you that maybe like to have all your adhesives in a little kit, I do sell a kit in these adorable little bags. You get liquid glue, glue dots, black dimensionals, white dimensionals, tear and tape, a seal, glue dots. I think I might have said that. An adhesive eraser, a sand eraser to erase those pesky ink mistakes, and then a clear ruler, all in a cute bag. And then I also am selling cards. I've got cards for sale, you guys. There are 20 cards in a package, and they are $25, which is a pretty ridiculously cheap price, I know. And then, of course, you need to pay the priority shipping. So it's about $33 for 20 cards. That's less than $2 a card. They're all handmade, so there's no requests. I just kind of have them packaged up, and you just kind of get what you get. So, but they're all amazing. And then finally, my tutorial library on my blog, tinyurl.com/Barb's tutorial library. Okay, let me get the supplies for the first project here. I guess we'll just go ahead and do this. I have a fun card here for you guys, and it's going to be using the Hello Harvest bundle, which is, oh, Susan, there's a link in the description of this video that says something like 20 all occasion cards, and then there's a link to click on to take you to PayPal. So I think it's like the 3rd or 4th thing below the video here in the description. It should be. At least it was earlier today. Let's hope it's still there. Okay. So we are using the Hello Harvest bundle as one of our bundles in the retreat. And so I have a really cool card for you guys today. This is not part of the retreat. This is just a card that I decided to make because I really thought it was fantastic. And I've kind of been getting into the color combinations lately, you guys. And I think I found this one in here. Let me look. So I am picking Razzleberry. Okay, it's not under Razzleberry. Is it under Mossy Meadow? No, I can't remember. Yep, there it is. So Mossy Meadow, Pear Pizzazz, and Rich Razzleberry. So that's the color combination that we're going to be using today. I have really been loving this. And we talked about this last week. Somebody asked me how I got this. I made this. I printed out these little cards. Oh, Patty, thank you so much. Oh, that's one of those little characters that I just think is hilarious. It's like a little party avocado, but it's Coastal Cabana colored or something like that. So that's really awesome. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that tip so much. And Carol just popped on and said it's her first live. Oh, Carla. Sorry, Carla. My glasses are like up on my nose and I couldn't read with my bifocals. So welcome. This is something you can print out on white cardstock, and the links to these little guys are in the description of this video. There is the in colors you can print out, and then there is our core colors that you can print out. And then I just literally printed them out on white cardstock, and then I just cut them apart and put them on a book ring, and that's how I have this. So it's a really fantastic tool, and I have been using it a lot. Like last week for that fun snowman card that we talked about, that's where I got my color combination. It was right here off the Orchid Oasis card. So it says Orchid, Flor de Flamingo, and Coastal Cabana. And look how stinking cute that is. It's cute. Okay, so that's where I got my color combination, off the Color Coach. And we are using the Hello Harvest bundle. And so I have my Rich Razzleberry is my card base, 5.5 by 8.5. I have a 4 by 5.25 inch piece for the inside, along with this pattern from the Rustic Pumpkin Designer Series paper. This is a 3/4 by 5.25. I have a piece of white, and I can't remember what it is now. Oh, Carla just subscribed to my channel. Thank you for saying that, Carla. You guys, there should be a little subscribe button right down here in the corner. So if you wouldn't mind, you can subscribe. That will give you notifications when I go live. It will also give you notifications when I upload videos. If you click subscribe, and then there's like a little bell icon down there somewhere. If you click both of those items, then you will be notified when I upload new videos. So there we go. Okay, this is 4 3/4 by 3.5. Yes, and then this is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Yep. Okay, so we're going to do some kind of random stamping on this layer of white. Let me get a scratch paper out here, and then here are my inks, the same inks that we just talked about that I got my color combination off of the Color Coach. I'm going to have to talk a little faster because my son is going to have the food here about 6 o'clock. Oh my gosh, Terry, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Terry just gave me a tip too, you guys. This is crazy. I appreciate that, Terry, so much. So it's not available to order. Do you think they'll eventually be? Oh, this bundle. Yes, it will be back. I believe it's going to be back. I think it's the 2nd week of October. This will be back. So keep that in the back of your mind. Watch my card and then save the video, and then you can come back. Judy Frank says, which color do you think is closer to maroon, Rich Razzleberry or Blackberry Bliss? I have to make a wedding card for a friend. Ooh, you know what? I would say Mary Merlot, Judy, honestly. These are more purpley, and the Mary Merlot is a little bit more red. So I would say Mary Merlot is more maroon. So there you go. Okay. So I've got the leaf image from the set. And I've got a little cheater piece of paper here that I have already stamped. So I'm going to kind of just follow what I did there. So I'm going to do some random stamping here. I mean, it's kind of random. It's also not random because I've already done it. I did it yesterday, so I kind of know where I want to place everything. But it was random the first time I did it. Actually, I'm going to wait and come back. All right, so I need to clean this off. So my chamois is freshly washed. I'm going to spank my stamp dry. And then we're going to pick up some pear. And we're going to stamp some Pear Pizzazz on here too. What are we going to do with this? Maybe kind of like this. Yeah. And where else? Actually, we're going to come back to the pear. I want to make sure that I can get all my colors in here. So I'm going to spank this little guy again. And we're going to get some Mossy Meadow this time. And we're going to stamp some Mossy there. A little Mossy right there. Some Mossy here, and another Mossy over here, and then our final Mossy, I think, right here. Okay, so we'll clean this off again. Now we're going to bring in the Pear Pizzazz again, spank that clean. I know I had somebody tell me here a while ago that their husband must have been listening in the background, you know, to what they were watching on YouTube, and the husband heard me say spank it, and he was kind of wondering what kind of a show she was watching. Stamping, honey. Crafting. Yeah. He was probably thinking, okay, all right, whatever. All right. We have just a couple more spots to fill in here. Sometimes when I get to the corners, I really like to just add just like a tip. Like I just added a little bit of Pear Pizzazz there. Oh, actually, we're going to pick up the pear again and do it right there. Okay. So we have all of these. Oh, 1024. Thank you for that information, Terry, I appreciate that. Okay, so we've got our thing all stamped. I also have a tiny little strip. This is a 5/8 strip by 4 3/4. And we're going to stamp the hello image on here in some Mossy Meadow. So let me get that inky. Now we're going to try to get it straight. We'll see what happens here. Sometimes you must be very careful and pay close attention. You know, it's not perfect. I think I'm going to try it one more time since I have a backside here. I can give it one more shot and we'll see which one is best. Actually, that one's better. So we're going to keep that. Okay. So we have those two pieces that are stamped. I've also taken the liberty of stamping the leaf image in all 3 colors on white and then cropping it with the die that is included in the bundle. So we've got those also. I think I am now done with my ink, so I'm going to close those up so I don't get, you know, ink on my fingers, which I probably will anyway, because that's just how I roll here. Always got to look. Oh, that looks like a little bit of new ink. And I'm just going to lick that off. I know, ew, gross. But you know what? It's non-toxic. It's not going to hurt me. And it's just the fastest way to get it clean. All right. So we have that part done. We're going to add our little strip right across the front here. So I'm going to just grab some seal and just run a strip of adhesive down this piece. And we're going to attach it to the card. So this is about maybe an inch. Maybe 7/8 of an inch or so from the bottom. Is that even? You know, my eyeballs always play tricks on me, and half the time it's not even, and I think it is, and then I'm irritated with myself later. But it looks to be even. I hope it is. My little strip here is a tiny bit longer than my piece, so we're just going to trim that off. No big deal. And then I'm going to add this to my layer of pear. And then we will add it to the card. There we go. And we're going to do that with some dimensionals. So I have some dimensionals here. Oh, come on, get off there. Something happened and I finally have a few fingernails. They're not that long, but they're there, which is kind of weird for me because normally I don't have nails. They break. Sometimes I chew at them if I'm, I don't know, bored, I guess. Maybe I haven't been bored lately, so that's a good thing. Okay. Then I am going to, I think it was these two. I was going to add these two to like the edge here of my hello, but here is something quite interesting, you guys. Where is that ribbon? Oh, the big stretch. So we have this balmy blue and white ribbon in the catalog, but did you know that this ribbon is held together with like plastic clear thread? It's the craziest thing. So I was pulling this apart, and you can take your scissors and you can just go underneath here and pick that up. It's pretty interesting. And then you can keep, you know, the white, or you can keep the blue. You can keep them both, whatever you want to do. You just need to go back through and like pull the threads like you normally would. If you used a seam ripper, you would have, you know, the threads sticking out. So you can see them or feel them, and they're just clear. It's almost like super skinny fishing line is what is holding these two ribbons together. So it's pretty cool. And so anyway, you will just take them apart like that. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Can I dye this white ribbon? I tried to use a blend. A blend didn't really work that good for me. So I used to dye ribbon all the time with ink and water. So if you take an ink refill and some water, you can dye ribbon. So what I did here is I put like, it's a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 waters to 1 ink. So I put like, well, I think it was like 16 drops of water in this little embellishment container, and then 8 drops of ink. And then I pushed my white ribbon into that, and then I let it dry, and look at that. I now have rich raspberry ribbon. So cool. And I have tied a little knot with my rich raspberry ribbon, and I'm going to add this to my card. And so I'm going to just trim off the end here. And there we go. And you guys are having quite the conversation about Pennsylvania. That is so cool. Cool. Okay, so I have my knot here. I've got my 2 leaves, and I'm just going to glue these together. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue there, and I'm going to add my raspberry. And I think I might pop these up with a dimensional. So I'll get a dimensional, and we'll stick it on here. Give it a little bit of depth, and then we're just going to add our little knot here with a glue dot. There we go. And we'll just add that kind of right there at the base of the card. And then the last thing I wanted to do was I wanted to add some bling. And I kind of wanted to use these fun adhesive back sequins and gems. And I have really been struggling with what to do with these little guys here, just because they're just a weird shape. You know, they're not like a circle or something like that. And so my brain's always like, oh, well, I don't know what to do with that. So I kind of thought I would put them at the end of my hello, kind of like the sun's rays, kind of like pointing at the hello. So I don't know. This is just what my brain thought might be kind of cool. So we're going to try it. And we'll just kind of spread them apart and angle the top and bottom one just a tiny bit to kind of act like we're pointing at the hello. Does that work? I feel like it kind of does. It's just kind of, I don't know, something interesting, something different. I'm sure a lot of you have these gems and maybe struggle with these yourselves. Like, what do you do with those? So I don't know. I thought it was kind of fun. And then the inside layer we have to pop. Oh, we didn't even do this yet. Come on, Barb. So let me get the adhesive on, and then we can get the layer here. And then I was going to keep one of those leaves and add it to the inside. So I just put a little tiny bit of glue on that Pear Pizzazz leaf. And then we'll add some adhesive to the inside layer, and we will add it to the inside of the card. Now, those of you that might be new, there's a couple of you that have never watched me before. When I put inside layers in, I'm a right-handed stamper, so I always turn my card. I do it a weird way. It's kind of like almost upside down, but that way my hand isn't in the way when I'm trying to do this. So just bear with me. When I put my inside layers in, I don't care about the side that's closest to the fold. I'm only trying to line up these 3 sides and make them even. Because even if this is off, no one's going to notice because it's all rich raspberry from there. But they'll notice if one of these sides is off. So that's what I always do just to make my inside layers look perfect. And there you go. So card number 1, we are done with that. And I hope you guys enjoyed that little tip about dyeing your ribbon. I used to be a huge dyer of ribbon. I dyed ribbon all the time. Way back in the day, we didn't have a whole lot of choices for ribbon. And so we had to dye it. And I was a pretty good ribbon dyer, I must say. Toot my own horn there. Okay, let me put that aside. Sounds like you guys are enjoying the card, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we will now bring in card number 2. Okay. Now, this is a card that I always try to do 3 projects for you guys. And this afternoon, I kind of was in a little bit of a rush. My husband had to go to work at 4 o'clock. Which he does when he's on the night shift, and I have to make food for him. Well, I don't have to, but I love him, and so I want to make him dinner before he goes to work. And so I kind of had just a very little bit of time left to come up with something, and all of a sudden, Christmas cardinals popped into my head. And I thought, well, I don't really have a cardinal stamp, but you know what? I have a bird that can be red. So there you go. Now, I don't really know what a cardinal looks like, but I don't think it looks like this. But you know what? We're going to roll with it. We're going to go with it anyway. So we have a real red card base, 8.5 by 5.5, a layer for the inside of white, 4 by 5.25. I had 2 layers of white that measure 4 3/4 by 3.5. One of them, this particular one, I ran through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine 2 times. One time with the rounded basic borders die. So I just kind of stuck it, you know, from corner to corner and ran it through. And then I took the Whimsical Woodland 3D embossing folder that does these fun trees. And then I ran my cutoff piece through that. So I still have my little detailed edge here. Yeah, I know, Margaret, it's not a cardinal, but we're going to go with it anyway. And so now I just need to trim this down a little bit because you can see my little rounded edge kind of stops right there. So I'm going to bring in a trimmer and I'm going to trim off that part that to me isn't rounded. Okay, so that's what we have. And we're going to actually glue these 2 pieces together. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my, yeah, exactly. Trish said it is tonight. It is a cardinal tonight. I figure maybe some people are like me and they don't know specifically that it's not a cardinal. And so maybe they wouldn't care. Or you could just take this design, this layout, and just make it, you know, with a different color bird, and not necessarily make it a Christmas card. So you can do whatever you want. Okay, so we have that attached to that. So then I have a layer of Early Espresso. So this is, there you go, Dolly. It's a red bird. So this is 3.5, 4 3/4. So this is 3 5/8, 4 7/8. So we're going to glue these together. All right. So it's a pretty quick card. There's not a whole lot to it, but I thought it was kind of cute. Okay. Get that all done. Then I have a couple scraps here. One, of course, is for my red bird. And then one is for a branch for my red bird to sit on. And color with blends to match. Yes, you can color a lot of ribbons with our blends. But for some reason, that one just wasn't coloring very good for me. And that's why I decided to dye it with my ink. I do that sometimes. All right, I need... Oh, my gosh, sorry. I get my hand in the way. Sometimes the focus comes in and out 100 times. All right, so we've got our red bird. And I'm going to stamp it right down here, the bottom of a scrap of white. And then I have my little skinnier strip, and I'm going to stamp my branch in Early Espresso. So we will stamp the branch. Come off. There we go. And then we are going to punch the bird because we have a bird punch. But I also need to give this bird some eyes. So I kind of feel like black should be the color of choice for those. So these eyes are kind of closed. So our bird is in deep thought here about why I'm trying to use it as a cardinal. Okay, so we're going to crop this out with the punch and try to line it up. Oops, as best we can. So there's our red bird. And then this little piece here, I'm just going to snip this out with my scissors just because it's not too difficult. It shouldn't take too, oh my gosh, those are my ribbon scissors. Because I have a little silver asterisk on them. Joy Ann is here late. Hello, Joy Ann. Glad you could make it. So I'm just going to quickly trim this out. Snip that off and snip that off. And then we will come in here into the middle and snip off the rest of that. And then this. And Susan, I think, said, thank you for the link to the Color Coach card. Yes, I had people asking me about it last week. And then I did find them and I put them in the video. And so I'm just going to kind of carry them over to my next few videos, just because I feel like people will still be interested in using them. So there you go. Okay. So we'll move all the bits and pieces that we aren't using off the table into the garbage. And then, so that's our inside piece. So now we just need to add the branch, but I don't need the whole thing just because I can only come over so far with my red bird. So I think it's going to be something like this. So we will add some liquid glue to our little branch here. There we go. And we'll come down fairly close to the bottom. I mean, the bottom at the edge where we can go with the branch. I guess we could push the branch over that, but that wasn't the vibe I was going for. So I'm not going to do it. But I am going to use a couple dimensionals here to pop my bird up. Actually, even a small one, I think, for the tail. This bird's tail is kind of skinny. So we will do that. And I find if I just push my fingernail into these dimensionals, the backings just pop right off. Now that I have a nail. All right, so our red bird's going to just sit like that. Where's my scissors? And I am just going to snip that off. All right, and onto our red card base it goes. Do we have one more to make 5? Yes. Now I'm going to get to start cutting the edges off this sheet. So exciting. It's always exciting getting rid of a sheet of dimensionals. Yes, I really like those dies for, I forget about them sometimes to do this kind of thing. And they're kind of fun. Oh no, you know what? I forgot to stamp my sentiment. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, my sentiment comes out of this. Trimming the Tree stamp set. It is the Sending Christmas Cheer. I kind of thought that sending Christmas cheer might be okay. You know, like a bird, it could fly, bring you the cheer. I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch. I just realized I have ink on my ink pads. So I'm going to wipe that off before I get it on my hand. Okay. So let me ink up my sentiment here. Margaret says this reminds her of a Tweety bird. It kind of does. A red Tweety bird. Okay. I got to make sure I have enough ink on this. Whew, here we go. And I have a dimensional under there, so this could be interesting. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, come on. Oh, not perfect. I don't know. Does anybody think that I can come back down here and get that? Yeah, I don't think I can. We're going to leave it because you know what? It's a handmade card. Sometimes they're just not perfect. But we have one more thing to add to this. We need to add some bling, of course, and we have some red rhinestones. And you know what? There are a million red rhinestones in a package. And so we're just going to kind of... Now, I wasn't sure. When I was kind of designing the card, I thought to myself, would I be better off adding like a red rhinestone to the top of each of these trees that, you know, the embossing folder put out? Carol says to use a marker. Oh, you know, sometimes I'm not so good at that. Well, where is the scrap piece of paper? Does this marker work? And, oh, you know what? It's not. This marker is like one of the original Stampin' Write markers, and my writing tip is not working so good. I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to have to be okay with leaving it because I'm afraid that I'm going to mess it up if I try to screw around with it. So, and I do think I'm going to try my little thing that I just mentioned about putting a rhinestone at the top of these trees. And we'll see how that looks. It might look terrible, and we might have to move them around and change things. But it might look okay. I don't know. There's a lot of trees on this die, or this embossing folder, that might need a red rhinestone at the top of them. So I don't know. Is that like too odd because they're all in weird, they're not like in any order? You know what I'm saying? Is it too weird? Or should I have 2 more? Should I just kind of randomly throw them somewhere else? Make a tag and cover it up. Oh, I could, Margaret. I just don't know as though I want to. Okay, I don't know if I like this. What do you guys think? I mean, I could stick one up here. I don't know. I'm not feeling that vibe. Is anybody else feeling that vibe? I'm going to let you guys mull about that for a second and let me know what you think. Trish thinks it's fine. Anyone else have an opinion while I clean up a little bit and get ready for our next project? Anybody got an opinion? Trish, you might be the only one that cares. And if that's the case, then we're going to leave it. And I will put some more of this stuff away. Oh, I have to put this on the inside. Oh, Hope says she's not feeling it. Thank you, Hope, because I'm not really feeling it either. So we may have to take those off and put them somewhere else. I think if I only had the trees, you know, if I just had my whole front layer was just the trees, it might be okay. But I feel like because you can't really see the trees that well, that it just looks too weird. So since I didn't really push them down hard, I should be able to take them all off and put them back on here. And then we'll try to do something different. Ooh, like maybe we could just move them a slight bit so that they actually put them where like they should be, where they would look a little more normal, like maybe like that. That one came off easily. This one I think should. This one, whoops, I think this one should too. Okay. Is that better? Just having a few around the bird? I feel like that's better. So that's what I'm going to go with. That layer on the inside, I didn't do anything to it. I just didn't, but okay. Thank you. Yes. Wendy says that's better. Dolly says it's better. Okay. Yes. I feel like, you know, and I might try that just because there's so many of these Rhinestones in this package that I kind of wonder if you just had that whole layer just with that embossing folder, if you could get away with it that way. You know what I mean? Decorating the trees, if that was the only thing on the front. I think there's so much going on here that those gems were just like, that's just too weird. Okay. You guys are right as usual. Okay. Moving on to our final project. So I think I might get done just about in time for my son to come home with the food. So yay. I'm not sure what he's getting. Hopefully it's good. Okay. We'll move that off. And our final card is going to be using the Celebrate Tags bundle. Now, this is my class for the month of September. And I do have, I think, 3 kits left. I showed you guys the cards at the beginning of the show. So I'm going to use that to make another fun card. This is kind of a fun fold. This was a mystery stamping. I posted this on my team Facebook page for our team meeting in September. So they were given the directions and then they had to come up with the card. And it's a little bit of a fun fold. It was a little complicated, kind of, if you didn't see the card first. And so they kind of struggled. But once I showed them, you know, in the meeting how to do it, they were all like, oh my gosh, yes, that's so cute. So we're going to do that. So we need a layer of, this is Blushing Bride, and it's 4 1/4 by 11. I've already done it, but you would score it at a 1/2 inch. So you would score it at a 1/2. You would scoot it over and score it at 1 3/4, 3 3/4. Yep. And then 5. Okay. So we have all those score lines. You also need a 3 by, I think this is 5 1/2. 3 by 5 1/2 inch piece of Blushing Bride. Basically same score lines, only the first 2. 1/2 and 1 3/4. Okay. Then we have some layers of white. I have a 2 3/4 by 3 1/2. Yeah, 2 3/4, 3 1/2. 4 by 5 1/4. We have some layers of gray and some designer series papers. So these papers come from the, what is it? I can't remember. It's the plaid pack of paper, and it's got a name, but I can't think of what it's called. But I bet one of you guys probably knows. I can never remember the names of things. I don't know what the heck. So my pieces of this measure. Okay, so this is 1 3/4 by 4, which makes this layer of gray 1 7/8 by 4 1/8. This is 4 by 3 7/8, and so this is 4 1/8. Or does it go like this? Nope, 4 1/8 by about the same. Because at the bottom it's going to be covered up, so I'm not too concerned about that. And then this layer, this was 2 3/4 by 3 1/2, so this is 2 7/8 by 3 5/8. Gingham Cottage, thank you so much, Sherry. I appreciate that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I've folded on all my score lines, and it's going to end up looking like a tube. Okay, like this. Oh my gosh, Judy Frank, thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate that very much. And there's that same little, I don't even know, is that an avocado, would you guys say? It kind of looks like a Coastal Cabana avocado lifting weights. Or maybe it's a pear. I don't know. But we're going to start out by adding our designer series papers to our other pieces. So we're going to add this to the smoky slate. I think I said basic gray. This is not basic gray. This is smoky slate. A pear. Okay, I think we'll go with pear. Avocado seems kind of weird. We're going to go with pear. Although it could be an avocado, but I think it's a pear. But it could be an avocado. I think it's a pear. Okay. And then we're going to set this up here at the top. And at first, I only had the designer series papers. When I did it for my team, there was no middle layer. But I feel like the gray just makes the designer series paper pop, because otherwise it's, you know, blushing bride on blushing bride, which, not that it wouldn't look good, but it just gives, I think, a little something extra, having that extra layer in there. And I know sometimes cutting 1/8 of an inch is difficult, but in this case, I just thought it was necessary. Okay, and then this is going to go, fold down right here on this front panel. Whoops, scoot over, you little stinker. Just a slight amount. Okay, there. All right, and then this little tab here is going to get glued down. So I'm going to use liquid glue for this. And I don't have to really know where it's supposed to go, because I have this fold line here. I think that's the right one, isn't it? Yep. And so I can just have this one folded here, and then that will just glue down. So this is kind of a box card in a way, a little bit. There we go. Okay, so then we have this piece, which we're going to stamp our sentiment on here. And our sentiment is going to be Merry Christmas. I love the font of this Merry Christmas stamp. I find myself using it a lot on other Christmas cards because I just really, really like it. It's a nice cursive font. You can read it. It's not weird. You know, some fonts are weird. This one's not weird. I just really like it. I really like this set. When I first got this catalog and I looked at this set, I just kind of looked at it and then kept going and thought, whatever. But the more, well, after I decided to use it as for my class, I have been using it a lot on different things, and I am really, really liking it. And so, yeah, it's become one of my faves. And it really is for all occasions. You've got birthday cards, love cards. It could be anniversary cards, you know. The Let's Celebrate You card could be a congratulations. The only thing it doesn't probably have is a thank you card. But, you know, I've got a million thank yous, so I don't necessarily need a thank you sentiment. Ugh. Sometimes when my glue gets close to the end, it decides it doesn't want to work so good. All right, so we're going to add this to this little panel here. Very small margin there. There we go. Okay, so then I'm going to wrap a ribbon around here, and I am going to use this white glitter ribbon. Now I'm going to do a tiny bit of cheating, because that's how I roll. So I have tied this ribbon around a bottle, which I've probably done a million times. I've probably showed you guys this, where you just take a bottle. I like the Stamp and Mist bottle, works pretty good. And you just tie your bow, or knot, excuse me, not a bow, a knot. And then you slide it off the bottle, and then you have it in a loop, which I have right here. Okay. So my loop is here, and I want my loop, my knot, to be like right in the middle of this layer here. So I'm just going to cut that ribbon And I'm going to wrap it around. This is a way because I'm not good at wrapping ribbons and having them be tight. So I'm going to cheat and not have it be tight because I can't do it. So I'm going to add a glue dot underneath there, and I'm going to press my ribbon into that. And then I'm going to use another glue dot, and I'm going to pull this ribbon over and add it with a glue dot. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure that they're centered. And that way, no one's going to be able to see, but it's a little sticky there. Okay, I'm not going to lie. So when I fold the card up, it's still going to be a little sticky. But if you have an embossing buddy, you can just pounce your embossing buddy on that sticky and it'll be gone. And it is no longer sticky. Okay, so that way, no one's going to be able to tell that my ribbon isn't nice and tight on there, just because, you know, I can do it. So there you go. So this is the back layer. We are also going to get some mittens. Now I've already done this part, but I used my new embossing kit that Stampin' Up! Has in the holiday catalog, and that includes the tray to recover your powder with a funnel end, so you can funnel it back into your little container. It comes with the embossing buddy. It comes with a little brush to scoop the powder back into the tray, and then it comes with a set of cross-lock tweezers. Now, I first thought that this white end of the tweezers was plastic, and I thought, oh, that's kind of dumb. It's going to melt. It's not. It's some kind of stone. So it is very resistant to heat. It will not melt. So if you don't have any embossing tools, this is a fantastic kit to add to your collection because embossing is super cool. And so I have embossed 2 leaves in white on Smoky Slate cardstock and 2, did I say leaves? I meant 2 mittens, not leaves. I think I said leaves. And 2 mittens in Blushing Bride with white embossing powder. And I did that because at first I was going to have the whole thing be pink, but then I wanted to change it up and add a little bit of gray. So I decided to go with the gray mittens instead of the pink. But we're going to put a pink one on the back. Now, I also die cut a bunch of these snowflakes that this is one of the dies in the Celebrate Tags dies that goes with this stamp set. And I kind of thought that I would stick some snowflakes. This is kind of where this is going to set. But I thought, you know, what if I actually just threw some snowflakes around? So that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully they don't look stupid. We'll see. We're going to hope that they don't. I didn't actually do this, so I can't tell you if they're going to look stupid. We're just going to hope that they don't. Oh, someone said, thanks for the tip. Scotch tape doesn't work for me to keep it tight. It does for me most of the time, but I would be able to see the tape under there. And so I didn't want to see the tape. I didn't want to have that happen. So actually, I'm going to pull that back just a skosh and see what happens. All right, so I feel like I'm going to glue this down. So if you have the whole thing flat, you can glue it in 2 spots. We're going to glue it up here and we're going to glue it down here. So I'm going to go ahead and add some seal down here at the bottom. And then I'm going to add my liquid glue up here at the top. So I'm going to figure out where I want this. I want it kind of in the middle on this bottom section. And I kind of feel like that is middle-ish. And then I'm going to fold that down and I'm going to put that on. There we go. And where is my bone folder? I need to press that into place a little bit and see what we've got here. We've got one of these fun stand-up cards. So fun. You can see through them. And then we're going to add our mittens. I have a tiny bit of twine here, the silver out of the, what is this called? This, you get this twine in the kit for my Celebrations Tags class, Simply Elegant Trim. And we're going to add this to the back of the mittens. And of course, you can use Scotch tape or glue dots. I think I'm going to go with the glue dot. I feel like that would be the fastest thing to do, is just stick a glue dot on there and then just smash the end of that string into the glue dot. Okay. Oh, you guys are loving this card. Yay! And then we're going to add our 2 mittens, kind of like this. So I'm just going to do some liquid. Oh, no. Hold on. We need dimensionals because this twine is going to make it pop up. Where's my dimensionals? I just was talking about how I was almost done. Ah, here's some. Okay, so let me cut some ends here. And we will just add these to our mitten. Where's my tiny ones? Oh, here they are. Because I kind of want to put one up here by the glue dot. Okay. I've got ink and stuff on my hands. This is a tragedy. Get off there. Okay. Press that into place, that little thing. And then we can arrange our mittens. I think that one can go like that. And this one can go like that. So cute, but we're not done yet because we're going to put a pink mitten on the back here because this is where you could write your message. And I think I'm going to tuck a snowflake under here. Down here at the bottom, maybe. And then we'll just trim off the excess. Okay. And then we'll add this to the back side here. And then, yes, this is where you can write your note. Now, I did cut this a little bit bigger than a regular layer of white. So instead of it being 4 by 5 1/4, I cut it to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 so that it fit on there just a little bit better. Okay. Now, so exciting. If you guys haven't seen these, you're missing out. These are our 4 Everything Fancy sequins. There's 3 colors in this. These also come with my Celebrate Tags kit. There are blues, greens, and pinks. So we're going to go ahead and use some out of the pink. And I'm going to add some sequins to my mittens here. There's a little center of a snowflake that needs a dot of glue. We need a dot of glue right here. Oh, you know what I should have done? I wonder if I could get this up. Sometimes if you're careful, you can pick up the things that have seal on them. Okay. And then put them back down. That was way too much. So I have a few things that are going to need some sequins. So I'm just going to take a little pinch of sequins and throw it out on my desk. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. And there are some really pretty sparkly pink sequins in here that I'm going to use for the centers of all of these things. So fun. Okay, and then there is a little button here on my mitten. And there are some half pearls in this set. Why is the glue, oh, there it is. Like, why is the glue not coming out? But I don't want to squirt it out super fast. You know how what happens when you squirt glue out super fast. It makes a gigantic mess, and then that's terrible. Okay, so there's these little half pearls. So here's one right here. Oh, actually, there's 2 stuck together. So here's a half pearl. So I don't know if you guys can, whoops. If you guys can actually see this. This is a half pearl. Sometimes the camera will. It's so cute. And so I'm going to put that right where the button should be on the mitten. Oh my heavens, come on. Where did the other one go? Right here. Okay, just because, why not? This is an over-the-top card, so we're going to finish it off being over the top. All right, so if you guys have not checked out these sequins, you should. They coordinate with so many of our colors. It's amazing. Like right here, I've got it with Blushing Bride, but you could put these with Polished Pink and they look fantastic. You can put them with Flirty Flamingo and they look fantastic. And same with these blues. You've got Night of Navy. You've got Balmy Blue in here. Some of these have like, oh my gosh, and they're in every one of these kits. It's this kind of sparkly sequin. It's like almost like a gold sparkle. I don't know. The camera is not going to pick that up probably, but can you see that at all? It's like iridescent pieces of glitter are inside this sequin. They're just so cool. Then there's tiny little silver ones, tiny little gray or gold ones. There's just, they're awesome. So if you don't have this collection, you should absolutely get it. Or if you want to get it with your kit for this class that I have, you can do that too. However you want to do it. I would love to have some orders. I've got a little goal that I kind of set for myself. It's not $1 million. No, you wouldn't be helping me get to my $1 million. That's going to be a couple years. But I have a little goal that I kind of set for myself. The end of the Stampin' Up! Year is tomorrow, and I kind of set a little goal for myself last year. And I'm about $450 away from this goal. So if you needed something and you wanted to help me out, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, I totally get it. But if you feel like you would like to, that'd be awesome, and I would be happy to have your order. So anyway, here it is. Isn't that just adorable? And then it folds flat for mailing. So there you go. So we have that. We have our red bird card. Cardinal, not a cardinal. Maybe a cardinal, not a cardinal, might be a cardinal, not a cardinal. And then our fun Hello Harvest leaf card. So much fun. Is it for everything fancy sequins? Yes, the sequins are in the big catalog, Laura. They come in this cute little box, and there's 3 containers of them in these 3 different colors. So they're pretty easy to store, and oh my gosh, you'd have sequins coming out your ears forever. There's just so many, and they're so fun. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh, Larissa's are on page 141. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, ladies, all for your tips that you gave me tonight. I appreciate that so much. If you guys have questions, I've been kind of throwing around putting project sheets on my blog. I haven't done it. I'm a one-woman show here. I don't have any assistants. And it's a lot of work to do that. So I can't make any promises. But I've been thinking about it, so I might. But we'll see, because I have a new blog design. The blog link is the same. It's still barbstamps.com. But I have a new platform, and I just, I need to learn how to use it. So I need to blog more. So anyway, here's the cards. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And you guys, I'll see you here next week. Same time, same place. All right, guys, have a good week. Bye-bye.